there are two villages in India in every place. There is a village for the Western interest, there is a village for the scheduled caste. Which village you are talking about? And Babuji was silent as usual. What is important here, when they were looking for some outdoor shooting place for the tribal life they want to show, we went to that village, we went to the colony, we asked the scheduled caste people, where are these tribal people, where are these irregular tribal? They showed some other place. So India now lives in three villages, scheduled tribe village, scheduled caste village and the upper caste village. Now why this incident took place? They have no voter ID, they have no ration card, their children are never go to school, they have no house to live, no house pattas are given to them, and they are outside this society. What is required is not exclusion, what is required is inclusion. And therefore the judge said, I will give an house site. Perhaps first time in India, a judge said, give this woman a house site in the prominent place in the village, and a house site was done. This is how the law develops. This is how the judiciary becomes sensitive to the people's issue. This is how the judiciary should react to the common people. Otherwise the constitution makes no sense. When Dr. Ambedkar introduced this constitution on 26 November 1949, he also said, we are giving a beautiful document. This is a document which belongs to you, but we have got only political freedom. We are yet to get economic and social freedom in this country. People cannot wait forever. You can't test their patience. If time crosses, there will be revolution in this country. Therefore, it is important that the constitution must be preserved, protected, and defended and executed by the judiciary. That is why the protagonist lawyer in this case, in the form of Surya, tells, I will use law as a weapon to relieve the miseries of the people, to get relief for these common people. Some people ask me, they are very sectarian. They say, you are creating illusion about the court. You are creating maya of these laws. What is the use? People should rise and protest. I am asking a basic question. If somebody is thirsty, will you give a glass of water? Or you will say, K.R. Sagar is still being built, we will bring water after 5 years. A court case or a litigation is only a first aid. Many people can be saved by first aid. It doesn't require surgery. Surgeries is necessary, surgeries will have to be performed. Until such time we have first sight. Until such time we will move the court. Hundreds and thousands of people we got relief. I was a lawyer for 30 years and I know for sure that many people were yet to go to the court. Many people who do not know their law, who do not know the right, we went to court and got relief for them. Maybe 8 out of 10 cases would have got relief and 2 cases would have lost. But nevertheless it's a gain. And what is important is, there is a constitutional democracy in this country, and this film also shows that the laws can be made use of. And when this film was shown to our Chief Minister, he wrote a letter to the production company saying that if there is honest police officer, there is a courageous lawyer, there is a judge with integrity, many of these injustices can be stopped. That is the role of the individual. Individuals do matter. And it is not heroism, it is not superhero, it is not personalized cult that matters. Therefore, when this film came out, I went to Patna, and P.S. Misra is no more. He dead and gone last year. I met his wife. I told Mataji, my pranams, but for your husband, there is no Jai Bhim. This is true. A judge can change. A judge can make a small difference. After P.S. Misra, we have Krishna Iyer. You know, in this film, Krishna Iyer was not the Madras High Court judge. He was a Madras Law College student, but he was a judge of the Kerala High Court and Supreme Court. So when the court set was put in, we put Krishna Iyer's portrait. Whenever you see Surya arguing, you can see the portrait of Krishna Iyer. How did his picture come into the film? That may be a mistake. But we said, Justice Krishna Iyer stood for values. Justice Krishna Iyer stood for human rights. Justice Krishna Iyer invented new technology in the form of legal engineering. It was he who use Article 32 in a bigger way to get redressal of grievance of the prisoners, of the under trials, of the women who are helpless women, and all this was possible by a man, Justice Krishna Iyer. Therefore, I told the art director that Justice Krishna Iyer portrait should be there in this picture. Whether it's fitting or not, that's not an important issue. But we recognize the role of the honorable judges who stood with the people, who were the people's judges. And it is that way, whether it is Krishna Iyer or P.S. Mishra, they inspired us. When we became judges, what is our inspiration? It is those mentors, it is those role models who helped us to decide matters. People ask me that after this film, all these things have come down. Is it changed? If one film can change, we can produce 100 films to change this country. Films are there, people see the film, sometimes for pastime, sometimes for thinking, sometimes just for entertainment. It is one such rare film, it got all the aspects of a film, and then the film did make an impact in this country. And therefore people ask, what happened after this film? As these torches have come down, in my opinion, as a practicing lawyer, I would have dealt with at least 15 encounter death cases in my practice. When I became a judge, I had heard at least 50 cases of encounter deaths. Therefore, it doesn't stop by a film. The society has to change. The human rights organization must grow. People should be aware of the human right. That is why this Manava Hagga Kalu is an important piece in our hand to know what is our right. Before you enforce your right, you must know your right first. It is in that sense, is some form of some form of education for us. Human right education should be at all levels, and this film is one more aspect to tell what is the right of a pre-trial accused. Even after this judgment, Supreme Court passed an order in D.K. Basu versus West Bengal. Supreme Court said there are 11 directives are given, which are known as 11 commandments. On the 11 directives, every pre-trial accused which is produced before a magistrate, the magistrate must follow all this. The police must follow all this. If they don't follow, what happens? They can be hauled up for contempt. Even a judge can be hauled up for contempt. Very recently in Tamil Nadu, a father and son were killed in Satankudu. They were electronic traders belonging to a dominant community in that area. And therefore the whole country rose. It became an international news that they were tortured and killed in a police station. What did the judicial magistrate do at the time of remand? Did he ever ask the two so-called accused whether they need any medical relief? One of the Basu guidelines says the trial magistrate must ask, are you having any injury? Do you need any medical relief? Nothing was asked. In fact, the remand report in those two cases said no complaint. When a police produces the accused, nobody will complain because he has to go back with the same police. If there are two injuries, they will become multiplied with more injuries. Therefore, nobody ever complains. But what do the magistrate do? They never ask. They just bend their head and say no complaint, remand. I wrote a letter to our Chief Justice. Why is that you are not suspending the judicial magistrate who remanded the father and son, knowing fully well they need medical assistance? The Chief Justice were very busy and he never replied. So I wrote in an article in a newspaper. Retired judges like me and Nag Mohandas can only write articles. What is that we can do? We don't have effective power, but we have one power. We can go to the people and tell them this judiciary is not functioning within the norm. It has been brought back to the norm. When such circumstances come before us, what do? This Sengeni case took 9 months for getting compensation. 1993 July it started. Sometimes in March 1994 the relief was granted. 9 months it took. But we were crowded in the school of Justice Krishna Iyer, Justice Chinnapureddy, several other human rights judges. So when such cases come before us, what happens? In my court, no case will go beyond 3 weeks. That is a change that we could make. In this case, they were giving 2.5 lakhs compensation. Now monetary values are losing. There is inflation. So in our court, we will give 10 lakhs compensation. As an individual judge, we can only do that. A fast delivery of justice and more compensation. But can we stop these encounters? Can we ever stop any police station torture? Why there is so much torture in police station? When British came to this country, they found there was no criminal law in this country. So they evolved Indian Penal Code of 1860. They also have a procedural code later in 1898. Now, why they established police in this country is not because to fight crime. They established police in this country for law and order. The British from Fort St. George in Madras were ruling Bangalore. There is a cantonment town here. They got from the Maharaja that we can have a police force here, army here. And what is the role of the police? Law and order. The government must continue. Whether unpopular or popular, they will continue. Police mean law and order. What about crime? Who will investigate the crime? Then the British found they are supposed to be the cradle of civilization. They are supposed to be the champions of liberty, but they made a law in this country called Criminal Tribes Act. Certain tribes are considered to be criminals. They will only commit crimes, and therefore they are declared they are criminal tribes. What has happened after declaration? Every 16-year-old male of the tribe, which must go to the same circle police station, give their fingerprints in the police station, give their height, weight, their body mark, their color, everything has to be recorded in the police station. After recording, what happens? In that area, if there is a crime, they will put tom-tom all over. There is a crime, all are requested to surrender. Everybody will surrender within 24 hours. The person who do not surrender, he is accused. He is a guilty person. That is how the inspectors were made judges, police stations were became courts in this country. No proof is required, no document is required. Because you are X, you are a Urula tribe, you are an able-bodied male, therefore you are the guilty person. Now Congress party and Communist party said this act is totally unjustified, against humanity, against all norms of civilization. How is this British government still continuing with this act? British did not want to withdraw this act. Until they left this country, the act was in statute book. The act was in existence. Now when the Congress party came to power, they withdrew the act because they promised the people that this act will be removed. When it removed, what is the status of the tribes? D and T, de-notified tribes. That is, they are no longer tribes. They are no longer the tribes only for paper, but they are tribes in the eyes of the police. That is why you will see in this first film, first scene, they are coming out of Kadalur jail.